Alright guys, let's continue our journey of learning management through family business, and we are here on chapter number 3, and the chapter number 3 says winners power. Yeah, the winners have a extraordinary power. Is it like that? Or power comes from 3 avenues? Got it right. 3 avenues, and those 3 avenues are the 3 lessons that we're going to talk about. Let's start with the first lesson. Lesson number 1 of chapter number 3, winners power. As usual, I'm going to cite the lesson, but I'm going to share a small story. Let's buy this piece of land. Family, one of the members starts, and the other person says, why do you think you want to buy this land? How much investment is going to happen? What is the payback? What is the purpose? When are we going to use that? You actually have no plan of buying that land, then why do you want to buy it? And where are the funds going to come from? Are we going to borrow it, or are we going to have it sourced from our own business? What is the whole reason behind it? Oh yeah, come on, quiet! I just started by telling I would like to buy a piece of land, and you starting attacking me with 1,000 questions. What would you do in that case? Second scene. We had a class session, and there was this one girl who was making a presentation, and there were about another 4 or 5 guys who were talking about and seeing that. And when she was completing the presentation, some of them asked questions and some of them appreciated, and she's like, that's fine, I got the point, okay? I mean, I just asked her feedback, and look at the way you are attacking me. No questions asked. So as we understand that, in both the scenarios, at both the times, we always felt that somebody was attacking the other person. Did we actually attack the other person? Guys, that gets me to the power of winner, lesson number 1. Power of winner, lesson number 1. And guys, understand this. Why I'm talking about, because this is winner's power. Winners take these things as feedbacks very, very positively. And that gets me to that lesson name. Lesson 1, devil's advocate. A person who can ask counter questions to you, keeping the spirit of the learning and lesson and decision making alive. So I will not ask the question to put you down, but I will ask the question to uplift you. I will ask the question to take you to the next level. I will ask the question to motivate you. I will ask the question so that your perspective becomes clear, transparent, and your point of view becomes concentrated. Guys, that's a very important lesson, because many times what happens is that we do not have the right set of people to ask a question. There's a very small and a very jovial anecdote at one point of time. This used to be a small kid, and he used to come back from the school and used to do homework. And there used to be the grandmother who would be sitting there and say, your handwriting is not good. Please write it better. He would scratch it and write it again. And then the grandmother said, still not good, scratch it and write again. And he used to do it again and again. 3 times. And like that, a trend used to happen. About 1 week later, the mother said that your notebook got over very quickly. I mean, you've been writing a lot of assignment. And he said, no, every time I write the assignment, the grandmother would say that it's not right, and she would ask me to improvise, and I used to write. And the mother started laughing. I said, Mom, why are you laughing? He said, the funny thing is your grandmother knows how to read only. What? She doesn't know how to read. But no. Then, and the grandmother said, I didn't know how to read. I just wanted to create a very nice book and a very nicely written thing. So therefore, I used to tell him, I never know how to read. The lesson is, guys, she's a devil, but a good devil. A known devil, and a known devil which is there for your improvement. If there is somebody who is asking you counter questions and making you think better, do better, decide better, execute better, keep such people with you. They are power of a winner. There's a movie in Indian cinema, and that movie, there's one person who's taking a decision of doing something very big, and there is one person who's always countering him. Every time he does counter him. When the decision is executed, finally successful, he goes first to that guy and says that thank you. And he said, I was always countering you. He said, every time you countered me, I thought about another way of doing that same thing in a differentiated manner. Guys, understand the power of a devil's advocate. Many times we feel that that person is playing the devil's advocate, so I don't want to go and talk to him. In fact, it makes sense to go and talk to him. Correct. Now, second part. Every time you will not be happy with the devil's advocate, that's also fair enough. That's fair enough, because you can't have everybody playing the devil's advocate, because if you have too many devil's advocate, then perhaps you don't know who's right and who's wrong. So have one or two people. Normally in a family, these type of devil's advocate do exist. Spot them, leverage them, and leverage the power of the devil's advocate. It's the power that winners get, because when they give counter answers, when they give opposite answers, when they give other side of the thinking, they take a right and a balanced decision. When we keep giving examples of devil's advocate, I'll give you one very nice anecdote. That's my personal anecdote. In the WhatsApp generation, how do you normally ask somebody, how are you? So I used to ask my dad by sending an HRU. That's what the trend was. Look, the younger people would agree with it. He would reply me saying, write in full. And then I used to write, how are you? With an how, and then ARU, ARE, and then YOU. He would send me back, well, a question mark is missing. I said, okay, dad, I will send with the question mark. He would send it back, well, H has to be capital. And I tell him, I know that you are fine. But guys, these parents, father, mother, uncle, aunt, at very, very right stages in your life are the people who play the devil's advocate. You may get little upset with it. You may get little, like, when will these people understand? But you know what? They are the ones who are playing devil's advocate perhaps for their interest. Maybe no, guys. Most of the times, more than 99% times, they are not playing it for their interest. They are playing in your interest. They are making sure that you refine your thoughts, your clarity, and your perspective completely before you take the plunge, before you take the leap, before you go ahead. I always keep telling a thought, it is better to have a known devil rather than an unknown devil. And so therefore, in a family business, when you have devil's advocate and be played by a family member, trust me guys, it's one of the most powerful things that you have. Have a great time guys. God bless you and thank you very much.